Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2013. Global stocks are falling. Some bad news came out of China's economy, a surprise drop in China's factory activity in the month of May, followed by data pointing to a second quarter economic contraction in the Eurozone, added to investors' worries. Also, the Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke commented yesterday in front of Congress that the Fed may trim its bond purchases at one of the next policy meetings. So as a result, the Nikkei 225 index in Japan fell by 7.3% in one day. It's the biggest one-day drop in 2 years. The stock market in New York now is down about 115 points about 30 minutes after opening. In London yesterday, in a suburb of London in Woolwich, the southeastern part of the capital, there was a ghastly murder. Two men who have been described as Islamic terrorists hacked a soldier to death with a machete. There are reports that the soldier was actually beheaded. The two men were shot by British police. They have survived. The British Prime Minister has classified this as a terrorist attack, and he said the country will be absolutely resolute in its stand against extremism and terror. Meanwhile, in the reinsurance world, the broker Willis seems ready to replicate what Aon has done. They're going to launch a major 20% London sidecar called Global 360. According to the Insurance Insider, they're in the advanced stages of finalizing a following market facility to provide cover for up to 20% of its London-led specialty insurance book. It's going to bring additional capacity to bear on the intermediary's well-regarded London book of marine, energy, aviation, construction, property, and casualty business. Now keep in mind that the Lloyd's Performance Director, Tom Bolt, has warned that this is not going to happen. So it seems that the stage is being set for a little bit of a battle here. Willis can do what it wants insofar as arranging its own capacity, but if 20% of the capacity is going to be gobbled up before it goes into the Lloyd's market, that's where Bolt can use the delegated authority requirements and bring this to a complete stop. Speaking of London, the Syndicate Market Forum will begin writing U.S. hospital professional liability business beginning on June 1 of this year. The business is going to comprise medical malpractice with general liability insurance cover. Of course, Market Forum had been seared as a result of an Italian medical claim spate several years ago. However, they've done research now with its parent company, Great American, based in Cincinnati, and they believe that there are very good possibilities underwriting-wise within the United States. The spokesman said, "We estimate 75% of our prospective U.S. account will cover hospitals underwritten purely as an open market product as either insurance or facultative reinsurance through hospital captives." In Niger, in central North Africa, 20 Nigerian soldiers were killed and another 16 were injured when a suicide bomber detonated a car loaded with explosives outside a military base in the city of Agadez this morning. Simultaneously, there was an explosion about 100 miles away in the city of Arlit, inside of a uranium mine operated by the French nuclear giant Areva. Nobody was killed in that, but 13 were injured. The 5 suicide bombers died in the twin explosions. The heat situation in India is beginning to attract attention. Don't tell them about global warming, they know about it. Searing heat is affecting much of the central and northern part of the country ahead of the summer monsoons. New Delhi has seen temperatures around 45 degrees Celsius over the last 3 days and dipped no lower than 30 degrees Celsius at night. 30 degrees Celsius at night is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. A new record was set in New Delhi yesterday of 114 degrees Fahrenheit. Is that not hot enough for you? How about this record? The city of Chandrapur saw a record of 48.2 degrees Celsius. That's 119 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat wave conditions look to ease as we go into the weekend. However, May and June are usually the hottest months of the year in India, so it's expected that the worst is yet to come. Ford Motor Company has announced it will stop making automobiles in Australia within 2 years because of high costs. The company said it's going to close its plant in Melbourne and in Geelong, which would see 1,200 workers laid off by October of 2016. The company said our costs are double that of Europe and nearly 4 times that of Ford in Asia. Well, there was a bit of an issue in Vietnam yesterday. Actually, it was this morning, excuse me. A mistake by a clumsy crane operator caused a 10-hour blackout over about a third of the country, exposing the fragility of Vietnam's power grid. The state electric company said that the blackout occurred after the crane operator knocked the tree down, which then fell into the main north-south high-voltage power transmission line. The outage affected 22 of Vietnam's 63 provinces. It was not clear how many people were affected, but the loss of power caused scores of factories and garment worker installations to close. Traffic was snarled in most major cities as the traffic lights failed. Vietnam's power generation sector needs modernizing, but low tariffs are making foreign investors wary about returns. Well, presumably the Vietnamese government will solve that problem now. And we thought the United States was fragile with our grid. My goodness. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.